Our next topic is the cabriole leg. So this is a very common type of leg for furniture, especially with classic furniture. And the basic shape is something similar to the S-scroll, but it terminates instead of a scroll head, it has a feet on this lower end, and the curving can vary a lot, from almost straight to very curved, but the basic shape is usually pretty similar. So here's a pretty basic example. No decorations, no carvings, just the basic cabriole leg. And as you can see, it's usually rotated at a 45-degree angle, so it's pointing outwards from the corner. Okay, so here's the basic breakdown of the cabriole leg anatomy. So you have the leg post, larger, thicker, rounded knee, then the leg shaft itself. Finally, there's the ankle that connects to the foot. And there are literally hundreds of variations of this type of leg. You can see that the feet can be very different. It can be round, it can be flat, it can have some sort of fingers or something that looks a bit like a little slipper or something. And as in the British version of Rococo, the Chippendale style, it can have the claw and ball foot on the bottom. But basically the shape is pretty similar to the others. So sometimes these legs have very ornate carvings on them, and they can look pretty complicated and very elegant. So, but before we can add some carvings and stuff like that, we have to figure out how to model the leg itself. So I'm going to start with one of the most basic examples, and it's going to be something like this. I'm going to quickly show you in 3D Max how to set it up. So let's start with the viewport background. And we're ready to go. So in my opinion, the most easy way, or the easiest way to do this, is by using the spline modeling tools. So starting with a line, and just roughly trace the shape, and I'm gonna end it with a slightly different variation. I'm gonna make the feet a bit longer. Right, and let's give it a rectangular profile, or actually a square profile. So like that. And this is our object. And as you can see, we do not have a sharp edge pointing outwards, and we can fix that by rotating this profile 45 degrees like this. And now it points the correct way. Okay. And that's the basic shape, and to make any further adjustments, we're going to collapse it to editable poly. And just scale and move the vertices to fit the reference photo. So pretty simple process. Okay. Now let's move this back a bit more. Okay, I'm gonna shift plus rotate to make a copy facing forward. Actually, let's make that an instance. And we can make some further adjustments to make sure it flows smoothly. And the thickness changes smoothly as well. Nice and even flow. Okay, and that's gonna be the basic shape. Finally, I'm gonna scale this part down to flatten it. Maybe move this bit a little. And we can select these long edges, chamfer them. Actually, I'm gonna do that as a new modifier, so I can turn it off if needed. So chamfer them. And same for this edge loop here. We want a sharp crease over there, so we're gonna chamfer it. And I'm gonna delete these lower polys and upper polys. And now when I add turbo smooth, we have a really nice and smooth result. So that's the basic cabriole leg. One little adjustment over here. I'm just going to chamfer it a bit. Okay, that's good. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to create something like this. Alright. So now let's make a version that's a little bit more decorated. So maybe something like this. I'm gonna make a copy. Go down to my edit poly. And if you want to add some decorations or carvings to something like this, what I suggest is deleting 1/2 of the object. Select the outline or the border, flatten it to make sure it's all in one plane. And add symmetry modifier. And this way we only have to worry about modeling one side, and the other one will be created automatically. So let's add a little decorative carving along the edge here, like this, something very simple. So I'm going to select this edge ring and connect and slide to this side over here. Alright. And maybe let's extrude it inwards a bit. Like this. And chamfer it a little bit. And now you have a little decorative border along that edge. Alright, let's add some additional detail to this leg. So quite often these cabriole legs and with a little scroll head. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see it closer. So this outer decorative detail goes here and rolls up and ends with a little round scroll head. It usually ends at the widest part of the foot. Let's try to make something like that. Okay, so first I'm gonna get rid of this edit poly modifier. And then we're going to add some additional detail. Okay, so first let's make sure this is a sharp edge. Let's delete the unneeded polys on the bottom and the top. And now we need to create this scroll head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select an edge ring like this. I'm going to use the connect tool and slide the line all the way over here. Well, not all the way, but something like this. Okay, that's good. Accept. And we need to add another edge ring over here, just so we have enough detail to work with. Alright. And now let's try to cut in the shape we're looking for. First I'm going to change the shape slightly over here to round the feet a little bit. I mean the foot. And let's go here and use the cut tool to add some detail. Okay. Let's make a cut here. And we want to make sure there are no bad geometry. Okay, let's see it with symmetry. And we need to take these polys and rotate them outwards a bit and move closer to the tip of the foot. Okay. I'm just gonna weld this as well, or actually just add some cuts over here to clean up the mesh. And remove the unneeded edges. Okay, another cut here. And clean up this area over here. And looks like we can change this cut like this. And remove the edge over here. So the scroll is shaping up nicely. And let's see how it looks after smoothing. Looks like we need more detail over here as well. I'm just gonna add an edge loop and slide it to the right. And move this part. Okay. Let's see how it looks. The overall shape is not messed up too badly. So we can try to add some edge rings over here. Get rid of this triangle. That's better. Right. And finally, the last thing we need to do for this scroll head, we need to extrude it out along with the rest of this element. Okay, so select the correct polys. And let's extrude them outwards. I'm going to use local normal. And it looks like there are some unvaulted vertices here that need to be fixed. Okay, that's one, and there are two vertices over here. As you can see, we need to vault them. Okay, and back to our poly selection. And let's extrude it outwards. Right, and that's fine. Then I'm gonna take this little feet, this foot, and rotate it a bit. Okay, let's look at the reference again. It looks like the center part is a bit wider. So I'm just going to grow my selection and rotate it a bit more and move it outwards a bit as well. Okay, so like that. Fix the shape. Okay. And as you can see, we have the basic scroll ready, but we just need to make these details sharper. And it's quite easy to do by selecting this edge loop. Actually, these multiple edge loops. And extruding them inwards a little bit. All right. Now it's much sharper and more defined. Okay, let's collapse some triangular resulting edges. Probably. Okay, the glitch is gone over there. It's a bit better. And finally, let's add some detail over here. I think now it's a bit too wide. Okay. That's good. Just chamfering these edges here. All right. And I think this looks quite good. The mesh is pretty clean and pretty usable. And you can adjust the shape quite easily as well. Okay, and if you look at this reference photo, you can see that this part is a bit more rounded than in our model. And you can easily do that by just moving around some vertices. Just make the shape rounder. And make it gradually go to a sharper edge as it goes down. Okay. Just a little more adjustment. Just some little adjustments here. And that's our leg. And if you can see a glitch over here, that's because we extruded some polys and they are smoothing incorrectly. It's not a hard fix, you just have to delete these top polys and it becomes smooth. Okay. So that's the basic cabriole leg.